we fight. You take the wrong and you make it right. Like a firefly, you're glowing at night. So don't make it hard, don't let me go. I wanna hold you tight when you're cold. I'm waiting for your love, you just keep me hanging on. I deserve to stay, and I will find my way. I will find my way.
I could be haunted and I would be afraid. I would get into trouble when I don't get my way. 'Cause I'm reckless, so I'm told. So I will live today like it's the last day I hold. Show me where I belong to stay. Show me my place in life, so I can lead the way. So I can lead the way. If I were a teacher, I'd let you know it all. In my childhood, I've worked it out.
Hello, my lovely friends. How is everybody this evening? Tonight, as always, I got my lovely co-host, Mina, and
Hello.
Filia Noctis. Okay,
Hello,
I was
my
waiting
little
for.
Mithiliacs.
There it is. I was waiting for it. I'm like, you gonna say hi? And
I couldn't hear you. You were kind of glitching on me.
oh, you're kind of cutting out for me as well. But technical issues aside, we will get this fixed. Today's guest is, as you can see on the screen, Dark Horse Tales. How you doing today, man?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. How about yourself?
Not too shabby. So we usually kick this off with you telling the audience a little bit about yourself, and just a reminder to the audience, as Dark Horse is telling you all about himself, brew some questions up in that little Chrome dome of yours and ask him. I said it in a funny way. It was supposed to make somebody laugh.
Yeah.
Well, I started off YouTube not too long ago. I decided I'd give it a shot and see where it go. Excited.
Tell me more about you.
That's it. You just sprung up out of nowhere and said, "Hey, I'm going to do YouTube."
Yeah, I've been listening to it for a while. For about I'd say about 7 or 8 years, I guess. Listening to different people, like I'd say, I guess who really got me started, I would say, would be Mr. Creeps. I really like him. He's got a very good voice, sort of like Mr. Corpse Husband, but I think Mr. Creeps is better than him. But that's just my opinion.
Wait, who's better? Who's better than who?
I think Mr. Creeps is better than Corpse Husband, but that's just my opinion because I think Corpse Husband sort of sold out, what have you. But I don't know, but that's just my opinion.
You know,
I was never around for the Corpse Husband phase, so I do love Mr. Creeps. I never have listened to anything from Corpse Husband. The only thing I could think I listened to was the one that he did with the collab he did with Mr. Creepypasta, and that was it. What were you gonna say, Mia?
everybody's like, well, he sold out, blah blah blah. But you realize before he's on YouTube like 4 years before all this big stuff around him has gotten out.
Yeah.
And so he's been doing YouTube for a long time. He's paid his dues, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I like Mr. Creeps. I like Corpse Husband. I don't compare narrators in that way. There are things I like about Corpse Husband. There's things I don't like about Corpse Husband. Just like there's things I like about Mr. Creeps. There's things I like about Dr. Creep and things I don't like. There's things I like about, you know, who have I been listening to this week? Today. Papa Scare. There's things I like about him. There's things I don't like about him. But I'm not going to compare those things from one to another because they're different people. They do things a different way. So I'm expecting different things from them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That was just...
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't compare Creepy Clown Girl to Filia Noctis.
Right.
But I expect a certain type of narration from Filia and a certain type of narration from CCG. And I'm more comparing them to themselves than to other people.
Right.
Because I think that's more fair to them. Or us. If I want to put it right. Because it you're not being okay. So one of my big things with Mr. Creepypasta in the past has been the fact that his editor leaves in mistakes, and I'm sorry, but if somebody says a line 3 times and you're the editor and you're supposed to clean that out and you leave it in all 3 times, you're being paid to get rid of mistakes like that. That's a problem. Yeah. You need to be replaced, or you need to do something right. If you want
people to hear that, create a blooper reel.
Right. At the same time, you know, I expect a certain vocal quality from Mr. Creepypasta that I wouldn't put somebody like I'm trying to think of somebody that just started out. Like Dr. Vexy. I wouldn't expect the same quality out because I know that Mr. Creepypasta's been doing it for way longer and he's got paid editors and this type of thing.
Sorry, my internet died.
It's the same type of thing that I would do with somebody else. Like there's a difference if you listen to Let's Read's YouTubes and then you go and listen to Let's Read's podcast, there's an audio difference there. Because he has an editor that goes into the podcast files and spit shines them, make them really, really nice, so that they work better as podcasts. They don't, not that they're bad when they're put on YouTube. I'm just saying they don't have the same audio quality.
Yeah,
Right.
we get it. I love you. Stop talking. I'm sorry, honey. You were on a tangent.
Yes, I was.
Yes, you was. I'm reining you in, girl. So, do you want us to call you Horse, Dark Horse,
Or DHT.
Ponytails,
DHT is fine. Whatever.
DHT? Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I like
sort of-
that. DHT.
Sounds like a
Like a chemical.
Yeah, it
DHT.
DHT.
You're gonna get
Hold
that DHT in your blood, and you're never
you
gonna
gotta
be
add
the
that. You gotta
same.
add a different letter, but yeah.
But I actually asked you, Dark Horse, before, but my internet had dropped. I said I noticed you write a lot of your own stuff. What got you into writing?
I was tired of hearing the same old stories. Like, you go to I don't know, some of the stories just seem like they just get recycled and recycled, you know. And I figured I gotta create something that's a little bit different than all these recycled stories that keep coming through. It seems like.
Well, they do, because a lot of them all come from Reddit, and there's only so many stories there.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I feel you on that one. That's one of the reasons why I like to try to incorporate mythology into my stories is because you know, it's different. Nobody's done it. I'm currently writing a story based around ghost children, a cursed object, and Ring Around the Rosie, because that was used during the plague. So I'm essentially writing a plague story,
okay,
and I'm having a ball
I bet
with it.
it's gonna be good. I can't wait.
should be interesting.
I'm having a ball with it. You working on anything right now, man?
I'm working on one now. It's about a girl. She's doing like orienteering. I don't know if you know what that is. It's where you go around in the nature and you try to get to different locations on the map, and whoever gets there the fastest wins, I guess.
Oh, nice.
It's like a giant game of geotag.
Yeah.
Nice. That sounds like it'd be really interesting. I'm excited to hear it.
Yes.
So,
Does it? Do they? Is it like geocache caching where they have like those little hidden items that you gotta look for too, or?
No, just like
Just-
she's going around and she's going in the canyon, and I don't want to give away the story really, but yeah, it's coming along. I've been writing it for quite some time.
Okay, cool.
so
That'll be interesting.
what do you have a favorite story of yours that you've wrote? Wrote? It's hey, I'm PA. You don't correct my grammar because my grammar sucks. You'll spend all day correcting my grammar, and you know this.
I actually do correct your grammar, and you
Yeah,
don't want to
should
get
be
into
more
that with me.
Surprised you don't do more time doing it.
Yes, I would say would be the Descendants of Tomorrow
Nice.
that Raven did.
Yeah, I
Good
remember
one.
that one.
Hey, have we said hello to the people in the chat yet?
No, we have not said hello to the people in the chat. So hello to the people in the chat. We've got Gamma.
My Chris.
We've got Christine Baker. We've got Creepy Clown Girl. Gamma, I'm not giving your last name, hun, because I can't pronounce that.
Akutavi. Akutavi.
I was doing good
They've never
pronouncing
corrected
the
me when I say that, so I think it's Akutabi.
Akutabi. You're doing better than that I did earlier. I had to. Oh, what was this poor guy's name? As I pull out my notepad.
Okay, they say gamma is fine.
Gamma is fine. Hashia
Is that all
Achui.
we have?
Hashia Achui.
Says we have 11
Yeah,
watching.
actually.
He he was a
See, he says
victim
I got
of
it.
good. He was a victim of nuclear radiation poisoning in Japan in 1999, and his DNA was damaged so much that it actually removed all DNA from his system. Meaning his body could not regenerate, his body could not make blood or anything else.
Ooh,
What?
Yep.
I'm so lost. What?
It was an interesting story.
Oh,
Real life story, not one I wrote. um,
okay. So what
So
I'm
you-
seeing is we don't have very many people watching.
no, we don't.
It
That's what I'm
happens.
seeing.
But let's just keep going.
Wow.
And more people
So-
may filter in.
So you said you started writing when you started your YouTube channel, or have you written for?
I said before that, I guess. Before that, first one I wrote, I sent to Professor Pasta. I sent it to him, so that was
He's
Oh.
cool.
yeah, that was the first one I sent to him.
All right. When you came up with
I
Dark
don't
Horse
hear much about
Tales,
him.
um, how did you create that and use that for your name?
Oh, I don't know. I just was thinking that everybody's got dark something. I figured I'd put an animal in front of it, something, something.
Nice.
Nice.
It's a cool image. I mean,
Yeah, it
No.
is.
in a
Reminds me-
couple of different ways. You
It
know,
makes
the
me
dark
think of the
horse is
Highwayman.
Highwayman, yeah, or the kind of like the dark horse kind of reminds me of the horse that the headless horseman would ride on.
Oh, shit.
The Dullahan.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
the dark horse in a race. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got a lot of different
dark.
different imagery to go with.
Yeah, the dark horse that came out of nowhere and won the race.
Actually, I kind of like that imagery for you, Dark Horse. Just the Dark
Yeah.
Horse that came out of nowhere and took
Yeah.
over the world.
Yes.
What first brought you into the horror genre in general?
Just because I figured, scary stories are better than some of the other ones that are out there.
Have you always been a horror fan?
Not necessarily. I don't go out there and watch all the new ones, but I mean, yeah, I like some of them, like some of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres and stuff like that. Those are classic ones, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of the new modern ones
Cool.
are just crap.
Yeah, I guess the Quiet Place. That one actually is really good. That one
I like
Was
that
recently
one.
came out.
amazing.
The second one's coming out, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one. I want to see it. I was very impressed with the first one.
When's the second one coming out, Dark Horse?
I think it comes out like next
think
month
this
or
weekend.
something. Yeah, or something like that.
That's actually perfect. I'm gonna admit this. That's actually perfect because my sister and her husband are going out of town to go to Florida, and they have HBO Max, so I can.
And your
wa-
house
I
today.
house set for them, so I can watch it while I'm there.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah.
Things in my life for the win. So I know you said you started writing because you got tired of hearing the same old crap being recycled on YouTube, but what did you write before that?
Uh,
He said he did.
Yeah.
Like, what started you writing that before YouTube? Did same reason?
Yeah, same reason.
Nice. So I know they asked you, if you like what got you into horror. Is horror your preferred genre, or if you could write a genre, like if you could write for any genre and be successful, which one would you choose?
I haven't really tried to branch off into anything else really, so couldn't really say. Perhaps I'd probably just have to stick to horror, I suppose.
Yeah, I know. For me, Tolkien is what got me into reading and writing. So I've been dabbling with trying to get into the more fantasy aspect
Right.
because I love fantasy.
So, when you're writing, and I'm asking because I know I do this at times. Um, when you're writing, do you sometimes pull from things around you that you see that are horrific to you in real life?
Not per se, I guess. I try not to write, I guess, too gruesome stuff, I guess, you know.
Well, I mean, like we know that Psycho was based on Ed Gein's mother and their relationship,
Oh,
that type of thing.
Nothing like that, I would say.
Okay.
I don't go off anything like that.
Okay. And if you're listening and you're in the chat, there are links to DHT's channel and his Twitter that just came up in the Nevermore Collective. Thank you very much, 42.
Do you have a web page that's hanging around somewhere that we don't know about?
Well, no webpage, just that's about it, I guess.
Okay, just checking.
Just checking. So, tell us, do you bring in your real life? You know, things that you do. For instance, if you're an electrician, do you bring that type of stuff into things that you know about being an electrician into your writing?
I guess I would say probably not. I try not to, I guess, or try. I haven't had really any stories that pertain to stuff like that, I guess.
Okay, cool. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Because I know I do it, but then again, I'm in IT, so it's hard not to do that sometimes.
Oh no. It'd be
I think a
interesting to
lot
write
of us kind of
Right.
put
like a
what we
forklift
know.
horror forklift story. I don't know.
No, I can think of a horror forklift story. My husband driving a forklift. I mean, what? Yes, he walks up by me.
There was a movie about a forklift driver that, screwed up the whole universe.
No, this is true.
What was that? Witchstone? Witcher? What's that movie?
It wasn't Witcher.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, what was it? It was. I can't remember. We talked about it just a couple weeks ago.
But
The guy that was hungover had the coffee on his dashboard. Anyway, we don't need to go into it. So, since you do write your own stuff, what do you feel like is one of your weaker sides to your story writing, and what do you feel like you're stronger?
I guess stronger. I guess writing like ends the end of the story. I guess when I come to like the end, I guess I get at that. But I guess the character base, I could get better at character writing. I guess going in depth in the character maybe.
Okay.
Piggyback off that. I know me and a few other writers, when we get to the end of a story, we struggle. We don't. It's not we struggle to get the story, like to get the end good. We struggle to finish the story because in the back of our minds we're like, what happens if the ending doesn't live up and we screw it up? You ever have that issue?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I don't know if it's good enough, but hey, I'll do it and see what happens, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I
'Cause I
think
always
my other problem is not just is it good enough to end it at this point, but also is that really where it should end? That's my other problem sometimes is this feel like this is really where it should end for this group of characters,
The problem
this
is
story,
writing
what I'm
backwards.
telling about them.
I quite often have the end, and I have to write the story to match the end.
Oh. No, even if I have the ending thought out, like I know how I want the story to end, I'll still struggle getting finished. I'll get about halfway through the story and I'll lose steam because I'm like, the first half is so amazing. I don't think I can live up to the end. And I always nail the ending at the end of it, but it's just that like my brain just likes to make me second guess myself. Speaking of things that make writing complicated, when you get writer's block, how do you get past that, man?
And just put it down and don't touch it for a couple days, maybe, and then just maybe go back to it. I can't think
Yeah.
of nothing.
I do that. So do you sit down and write your stories all in one shot, or do you do them in multiple settings? Because I know some people, including myself, if we got like a really good story idea, we can sit down and hammer out the whole story in like 3 hours. But then other people need to like just kind of like marinate on the idea some as they're writing.
I don't know. I like to once I get it going, and then if I don't get none going, then I'm stopped, and then I just can't write anymore, and then I come back later and I start writing again if I think of something better of where I stopped at.
We write very similar fashions, my good sir. Very similar.
Yeah.
So,
Are you-
what are your plans for your channel?
I'm not sure right now. I'm just gonna keep going with it and just see where it goes. I don't really have any plans per se.
I understand that.
I get that too.
Oh, here's a good one. And it's okay either way, okay?
Okay.
There are some writers that we have and in YouTube who all their stories are in one universe. And then there are some writers we have in that their stories are in multiple different universes, little microcosms. And then there are others that none of their stories intermingle at all. Which one are you?
I mean, I like to mix them all together. I like to put this character and that character together, and people are like, this character and that character is from this story? Oh my gosh, I remember this character from that story. I like intermingling them all together,
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. What is his name? The one that does. I think my grandfather's a serial killer.
Serial killer.
The guy that writes that, it starts with a V. I'm not going to try to say it because I'm going to mess it up. But he, everything that he writes almost is in the same universe, and he's got like 200, 300 stories, and they're all intertwined, and he's got this huge map of where they all come together, and it's like, I don't see how that matches. And then when you look at the map and you're going, oh, that's where that comes from, and it's like I'm sitting here and listening to a story that I don't even know is in that universe, and I'm going, wait a minute, they just said that sounds like, and then I'll look and I'm going, oh, that's the author, okay, so it is in that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And like Rando, everything Rando has is all in one universe. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
there's nothing wrong with all being in one universe.
You know, it's kind of hard for me to make all my stuff in one universe when I murder everybody in every story.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a good question for you. So when you in your stories when you're writing, do you try to like kind of keep it realistic to where if the characters in there are in a situation where they can't possibly and feasibly make it out alive, you kill them all off, or do you just are you merciful and let some of them live?
I might left one or two live, or I might kill them. Might tell them all off. Depends on what situation they're in the room or what have you.
Okay.
I
So it's not
I've
always unrealistic that they live.
I've
PA.
gotten a reputation for ganking all my characters, and if I let you live, there's probably for a reason for it, which means there's probably a part two coming to that story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is you said that if they're in a situation and you're going to miraculously bring them out of it, and so that some people can live. Not every situation is going to get you killed.
Yeah.
I mean, just because the banshee comes and takes you away doesn't mean you actually died. It depends on how the banshee took you. And the banshees actually don't take you normally. They're just telling people that somebody's leaving this plane of existence. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of my and I left somebody alive in this story as well as Song of the Storm. But it's only one of my favorite stories because it was just such a random concept. Was um, a stranger's call where there was a cursed number that if you called a banshee on the other end would essentially would pick up, and then they would call you back and they would kill you systematically if like everybody who made the call. And I developed that idea while I was sitting around talking with my one friends, and they were talking about calling a cursed number, and I was like, I got a story for that, and it just popped in my head. It was so ridiculous that I had to write it.
I mean, I get if
Kind of like that
they're
idea.
in I get if somebody's in a situation and realistically they can't live through it, they're not going to live through it. I don't have a problem with killing characters that way.
Or like the story I did with Raven, the Invitation.
Mm-hmm.
I left. I still haven't finished the second part on that one yet, but yeah, I left a cliffhanger on that one.
Yes, you did.
Okay, so that brings us to a nice segue. But before we segue into that, a couple new people in the chat. Anime is here.
Hey, bestie, love you. What's up, Arachne?
Arachne.
Arachne? Arachne?
Arachne.
I don't know who that is.
Arachtivity.
Yeah.
Anyway, segue in doing collaborations with other writers and other narrators. Which do you prefer?
Well, I haven't done neither or, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh,
Well,
Oh,
CCG's
I'm sorry, I
asking,
thought you.
is there a genre of horror that you prefer to write about as opposed to another?
Meaning, like,
Demon possession
Advanced
versus.
thriller.
oh yeah, I guess I haven't really doubled in on like nothing like that or demon possession or nothing like that or what have you. Not yet, at least.
Here's a question, and I'm pulling off of CC's here. Are you opposed? I mean, when you're writing, Are you willing to put in things that aren't traditionally thought of as horror as components in your writing?
I mean, yeah, I can do that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Like, everybody's like, well, you can't be horror and sci-fi. Well, why not?
yeah,
Event Horizon.
yeah. I mean, you can do it all. No one says you can't just stick to this one thing, and you can do it all.
Yes, that is 42. Yeah, that's how I feel. I
Horizon
don't think that
freaked me out.
it freaked a lot of people out. I kept rewinding it to go and look at especially the scene there where they show quote unquote hell. I kept playing it through that so I could pick up everything that it was showing there. Do you consider yourself a better writer or a better narrator?
I guess I consider myself a better writer than a narrator, I suppose.
So now that you said that, when you narrate your own writing, and you find that while you're narrating it, a sentence doesn't work the way you thought it did in your brain, do you make that change in the writing as well, or do you just leave it the same?
I'll probably just switch it up. I'll just switch it. If it's in my brain and it's right on the paper, I'll just be like, all right, I'm gonna switch it because I think it makes more sense. So
That's what I do. So yeah.
So, Arakvi actually asked a question. It said to me and Dark Horse, but you guys can answer too. It says,
We answered it.
Do you consider yourself a better writer or narrator?
Yeah, he answered it. You
All right,
haven't answered it.
I had family at the door, so I had to go do something quick. I typed it in the chat. I consider myself a better writer only because I don't really consider myself a great narrator, even though people seem to like my stuff. But narrating is fun, but writing is what I enjoy more.
I love that I wasn't included in that. I don't have to answer it.
Mia, how about you?
how do you?
I just included you. Suck it, nerd.
Damn it. I actually think I'm a better writer than I am a narrator. And that goes back to being in school and being the kid that hated to be called on to narrate or to read, because I have a phobia of reading out loud, which for a narrator is kind of a crippling phobia. And I think I've done pretty good getting through it with the narrations that I've done, but I still have that. I hate my own voice. I hate hearing my own voice repeatedly. I don't feel like I always read it the way that it's written on the paper, which even if I read the sentence exactly as it is on the paper, it doesn't seem to come out right with my brain sometimes. You know what I mean?
Okay, let me ask you this. Would y'all rather read it off the computer, or would you rather print it off on a piece of paper and read it from the piece of paper in front of you than have it read it on the screen?
I have done both.
Computer.
Yes, definitely from a computer. As a person who tried to read a 40-minute story from the book, and eventually just had to have the author just email me a copy of the freaking story so I could read it off the computer, I'd much rather read it off the computer.
The only reason I say computer is because I don't have to hold something in front of me, because I've got my monitor set up so that it's right in front of me. But when I was doing A Killer in My Town, I read it out of the book. And like I said, other than turning the pages, that was the only difference that I found in the two, for me at least. And the fact that I was talking sometimes like this, which I don't know if the computer, I don't know if it got picked up with the mic or not, because I'm pointing my face down instead of at the mic.
The question is, would I rather read from an ebook or or from an actual book for leisure reading, I would much rather read from a real book.
Yeah, me too. And I find that some e-book writers, and I'm not talking about anybody in our collective community here, guys. So none of you start getting up in arms, okay? But I have read some that they say that they've used an editor, and I can tell that they haven't because there are words that just were not sentences that weren't finished, words that were not complete, misnomens where a male was called a she and a she was called a male. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
We
you
know
know, if you're
when
gonna
you
publish
don't
this,
use your grammar thing.
if you're gonna publish this and say that this is a finished product, please at least check to make sure your tenses are correct. Please make sure that your pronouns are correct, and don't try to tell me that it is a complete thought. It is what? No, this was a paragraph in a
It is
story.
time for the next question.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, someone
we-
new here.
Hello, Queef. I think that's how that's said.
Huh.
That's how that's said.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how that's said.
With an exclamation point.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
So, Dark Horse, what was the first book that you ever picked up to read, and was it what got you into like reading and writing?
Well, that's a mean
other than like
question.
Dick and Jane.
Goosebumps. I don't know.
Well,
That was
yeah,
a
I mean,
mean question.
Yeah.
I love Goosebumps. How about we refine it to actual like the first novel you've ever read?
That's still a mean question. You know that, right?
I don't
A lot
know.
of people remember their first adult level reading level book.
Lord of the Rings, first year of high school.
Can't claim that. I
Yeah.
I can claim that. That was the first book I willingly picked up and read.
But I got The Hobbit when I was 10 years old. And and if you want to go by books, I think the first book I read on my own that I chose on my own was probably the Velveteen Rabbit.
Goosebumps was an amazing series. So, Dark Horse, I will accept Goosebumps as an answer.
Yes. That's.
Except
So-
Goosebumps is an answer.
See,
So
Goosebumps
Queef,
wasn't around when I was.
Velveteen Rabbit was a picture book.
so Queef asked.
I don't even think it qualified as a chapter book.
So Queef asked, who are the narrators that inspired Dark Horse Tales?
What's his name? 42. 42. Unit 42. I think that's what his name was. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, Uncle Unit.
Yeah, Uncle Unit. That's him. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Wolf's Camp.
Mm-hmm. Wolf's Campfire.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Nice.
Still listen to both of them.
Yeah.
Of course, you said Mr. Creeps.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't find the questions.
That was the
I
last one, babe.
searched. I can't find them. Right.
What bigger
I
narrators
have been
would you like
searching
to
this whole
work with?
time.
I don't know. Mr. Creeps would be pretty awesome.
Wouldn't it though?
Mr. Creepin. I mean, the
Dr.
British
Creepin.
guy,
Dr.
Dr.
Creepin?
Creepin. You know that guy.
Dr.
That guy's
Creepin.
just amazing.
Yes, he is.
You know, I have a way to actually work with him that's It takes a little while, but you do eventually get to work with him, slowly but surely. We have this thing, we call it narrator bingo,
Uh huh.
and a group of us narrators, boys and girls, um, every couple of months, sometimes it's 6 months, we get together whenever Dr. Creepin is ready to do it. And sometimes it's the girls, sometimes it's the boys. But one group will get letters and the other group will get numbers.
Uh huh.
And the numbers pick the letters, but you don't know who's got what.
Uh huh.
So you just pick, like, the boys have the letters and the girls have the numbers. So the girls just pick a letter. You don't know who it is until after everybody is picked. And then you're surprised. And that's who your narrator, who you are assigned to work with. And then Dr. Creepin sponsors it on his channel. But sometimes, if you need an extra voice, Dr. Creepin will be the extra voice for you. And he has, in fact, worked with some of the narrators that have been on the bingo.
In
Yes,
fact,
he
not-
has.
one of
I'm
those
not saying like I'm not saying like the
So,
voice thing. I'm more
there you
interested
go.
in like just him.
It's one
Like
of the ways to get to him.
I guess I'm more interested in. I guess would be him just like reading a story. I guess instead of him like doing a voice.
Oh, it's also, yeah, he
Yeah,
will read. Yes, yes. But see, that's one way you get his ear,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's more
Fun-
likely to read one of your stories if you're in one of the bingos,
Oh right.
fun fact. In one of the bingos, he worked with Madame
because he'll hear
Frightmare.
your voice
Mm-hmm.
and he'll get to know you a little bit.
Okay, so Queef has got a lot of good questions here.
Can you guys not
Who
hear me?
are? I heard you then.
I was talking 3 times and people kept talking over me.
I didn't hear you, honey. Sorry.
I was saying, fun fact, in the bingo, Madame Frightmare was one of the people that he worked with, and they read one of
Okay.
my stories.
Yep.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Dr. Creepin read one of my stories.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
it's a notch in my cap that I'm gonna strut around because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Queef says, "Who are your top 5 scary story channels and top 5 creepy pasta channels?" My list: True, number 1, Mr. Nightmare, number 2, Nightmare Files, number 3, Unit 522, number 4, Lazy Masquerade, number 5, Corpse Husband. I guess he's still putting in his creepy pasta channels.
Yeah.
So for you, DHT, it still sounds like a. Oh, there we go. My list: Creepypasta, Mr. Creeps, Mr. Creepypasta, Dr. Creepin, Creeps McPasta, 5, I don't know. Oh my gosh. See, for me, that's hard to do.
5 is soon to be Dark Horse Tales.
Yeah.
See, like I said, for me, that's hard to do because of the way that I think about people. So it's hard for me to say my very favorite is, you know, it's like, who did I listen
Mine
to
depends
last?
on mood.
Well, who's your top 5? I don't know. You know.
Yeah. So the question is, who are your top 5 true and creepy pasta? 2 different lists.
Yeah. Uh. I can't think of 5. You know, it's just too hard. You know, it's just there's so many.
Let's see. For true, I think I'd have to start with. And you had to put scary in there. I have to take one out for scary. Your maker. Let's read. Jensen, Lazy, um,
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing watching Jensen blow up out of nowhere.
Jensen popping
oh
off is
my
amazing.
goodness, it's wonderful. Um, I guess Mr. Haunted would be on that one. Not that he's, I mean, I'm just going through all the ones that I listen to. It's hard to pick just 5. What do I think of your list? Well, Mr. Nightmare is classic from what I understand. I hate to say it, but I've not really listened to a lot of his. Nightmare Files, I adore. He is really cool. And I kind of hate it when he goes overseas and has to put himself in the line of fire. But that's what happens with military men, right?
Mm-hmm.
As far
Solar
as,
Quiet?
huh?
Is that who you were you talking about? Solar Quiet?
No, I was talking about Nightmare Files.
Oh, both
Yeah,
of them, all of them,
both
all
of
of
them
them
are.
that have to do that.
Yeah. As far as the creepy pasta ones, your lists are you know, I love Lazy. I love Uncle Unit, obviously. Corpse Husband, as I said earlier. Um, I love listening to his narrations. Not so big into the game stuff, but I do love his narrations because I like his voice. And that for me is the big thing. I have to like the voice. I learned this week that there are some people's voices that even if I understand what they say, that I just can't listen to them.
So, unfortunately for me, I have on my list. There's a few people that cross over. Raven,
Yeah,
because he does both.
he does both. I love Raven.
42, because she does both.
Mhm.
On my crew, I got MCT, Silver, and then
Both.
Spooky Boo / Jensen, because Jensen doesn't put out content as much as he used to, so I don't really get to listen to him as much. So Spooky Boo kind of took that list, and then it's Vidith, Raven, 42,
Vidith.
Creepy Ghost Stories, and then I'm undecided on my 5th one right now. I listened to a lot of Mr. Creepypasta and Mr. Creep, so they kind of just interchange.
Yeah, I've got a lot of interchanging and things like that. And the video that I watched wasn't any of you guys. It was in another language. In fact, the guy's voice was very nasally, and I kept waiting for him to take a breath for 40 minutes. And that drives me up the wall. Yeah. Breathe, dude, breathe.
So, Dark Horse,
That means he
random
edited
question.
his stuff
What
too much.
what was the hardest story you've read? Like, either just like overall, like just like grammar wise or emotion wise? Like, was there a story that you've either read or written that like hit you in the feels really hard?
Again, again, I'd like to go back to the Descendants of Tomorrow. I guess that one really was really hard to write. I guess, but it was at a time when we needed it. Maybe I guess.
Do you want to elaborate or?
Just like at a time when
Tell
we
me
were
what
we were out of country, I guess, and stuff was going on. I thought it was an interesting time to write it. I guess.
I mean, you can. Any of the questions we ask ask you, you can go into any kind of detail you want. You can
Yeah.
wander off and, go off path and everything. We don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll only rein me in. Who? This is an opinion again. It's a hard question. Um, who have the most unique voices in the community? Where, if you randomly heard their voice, you would know who they were.
Mm.
This is Dark Horse's opinion.
I would probably say Joel.
Yeah.
From him and
Yeah.
I guess Corpse Husband. I guess him. I guess those two would be like the most notable for me, I suppose. And then who do I think has the most unique one? I guess Corpse Husband has a unique voice, and
I think Mr. Haunted would have to be on that list for me because, yes, I know what he looks like, but he doesn't look like his voice.
That question is just a very open-ended question for me because with the way my ears are, every voice is unique. So I would, if I heard anybody's voice that I frequently listen to in public, I would know who they are.
I think Dark Somnium for me.
oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. Him too. He's really
Ronnie.
yeah, Ronnie. Okay. He was one of the ones I really listened to in the beginning, I should say. I forgot about him. Yeah.
Love the Dark Somnium.
And there's the thing is we know each other, we know the members of the community so well. It's easy to sit here, well, so and so and so and so and so and so and so. Well, wait a minute. Let's go back to this, because there's something unique about all of the artists and talented people that are in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Ronnie,
Yeah.
he writes his own music
There
and
is.
stuff. He does that. That's really.
There's actually a few that write their own music now.
Yeah.
I don't know who else does, but
Dr. Creepin does. And then you've got
I'm surprised to find that out.
yeah, his SoundCloud. He's actually got 2 SoundClouds of stuff. Just saying. Vidith writes and does his own music, but he doesn't do it for narration. He does it for entertainment.
This music is amazing.
But do you know any narrators outside of YouTube? And if so, which ones are real badasses?
Outside of YouTube? Narrators?
Yeah. Do you guys know any of the narrators outside of YouTube? If so, which ones are real badasses?
In real life? Vincent Price. The granddaddy of them all.
Oh man, that man. Woo. But no,
We could have had him for another 100 years.
yeah, really.
So, Dark Horse, do you have any intentions on publishing a book at all?
I don't know about a book per se. I think honestly that takes too much time and effort. I'd rather write stories, individuals, different small stories, than have a book, because I think that takes too long. And then you can take all your stories and put them in one book, and then that becomes your book. So
That's actually what I was referring to, is like just have like, because I know there's a lot of narrators. Beautiful Nightmares, Cleaving Thought from Bone, Creepy Ghost Stories has done it, where they've taken all their shorter stories and they've made like a short story compilation and went and self-published a book on Amazon.
yeah, I'm thinking once I get maybe enough stories, I guess I might do that eventually, maybe.
Well,
Awesome, dude. Whenever you do, just let me know, because I'll definitely pick it up.
Yeah.
Cleaving Thought from Bone has 13 is enough stories for him. Just saying.
Right.
I mean, how many? Is there some that already have, like, how many stories are in like the books? And I have no idea. Can you give me an example?
Let
You
me
know.
see. I've got. I
Cleaving
don't
Thought
have
from
his over
Bone.
here.
Cleaving Thought from Bone. I'm not exactly sure. I know he has. Hold on. I got his books on hand. Give me one moment.
Okay. Beautiful Nightmare's first short story book has 10 short stories in it.
Yeah, okay. So how many pages, I guess, is the book?
All right, I'm back. I had
The
to
book
grab it quick.
is I
I think that
59
book
pages.
the one I
59
grabbed.
pages? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I know Beautiful Nightmare only has her books are only around 100 pages.
Actually, that one was the first short story book, and it's 59
Then,
pages.
and then how many stories are in the book?
That one has 10. I don't have her second one over here.
Okay.
And I don't have any of Sabian's over here because they're all over on the bed.
Sabian's Locust Lake book has 14 stories in it, and it's about 178 pages. So, 100 pages, 100 and 200 pages is usually enough.
Right.
But I'm actually going to start working on getting my stories formatted, and I'm working on getting some cover art done for it. But I'm going to try to have a book out by October.
And welcome Silver
Awesome.
Threads.
Hey, what's up,
Yes,
Silver, my man?
Hello, Silver.
I was buffering, but what I wanted to say, I had something to say about the writing your own book. Writing your own book, you can then submit a copy of it to the Library of Congress. And I think it would be cool just to have a book in the Library of Congress with your name on it.
Yeah, if I get this book put together the
Am
way
I
I'm
gone
planning
again?
to put it together. No, you didn't. It will come out in January or February, depending on when I wrap everything up for it. And that will be volume 1 of Haunted Library. As I've kind of nicknamed it.
Can you guys?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you,
Can you
Philia.
guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can
can
hear
you
you.
hear us?
Can
Hear
you hear
me?
us?
Hello.
Can you hear us? I don't think she can hear us.
I'm going to go with
Yes.
no.
No. Must have left.
She probably
But,
left and didn't reconnect.
Which would you like people to think of you more as, a writer or a narrator?
I don't know. Maybe a writer, I guess. I don't know. For right now, I don't know. I'm still up in the air about it.
There you guys are.
Now you can hear us?
We could hear you. You guys could not hear us.
Ooh,
Nope.
interviews. Whoa, did we lose her again?
I think so.
Dream interviews for this channel. We have a show every week, Queef. That's every Saturday at 7 Eastern. He just put together the list for the next few weeks.
Yay.
Do-do-do.
Yeah, honestly, Queef, this isn't a brag or anything. Most of the people that I absolutely want to interview have already agreed to interviews because apparently my reputation precedes me.
And notwithstanding, every time he says, "Oh, we're getting so and so," and I'm going, "Yay!" You know, woo! You know, I'm excited about everybody because it's a chance to talk to people who I listen to and enjoy, and I get to know them a little bit better as a person, not just as a narrator or a writer. And
I got bumped, and I actually had something to say about the books, writing the books.
Okay.
Sorry to go back, but
That's okay.
I think it would be really cool to write a book for everybody that writes the short stories. Writing your book and getting the USBN number is really cool. and everything. That's the, the number that you get assigned.
Mhm.
Because you get that, you can then turn around and submit a copy of your book to the Library of Congress.
Mhm.
And how cool would it be to have a book with your name on it in the Library of Congress?
Honestly, I have wanted that since I was 14.
Well, write a book and do it.
Well,
I've
I'm
that's
just
already
new.
saying
written a
for,
book. I just have to rewrite it now.
well, I'm just saying for everybody that's
That's
got
new
the
to
short
me.
stories and stuff. That would be so cool. Well, I
I
think it would
didn't
be
know
really
that.
cool.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
either.
Well,
Yeah.
now you guys do. All you have to do is submit it. You don't have to apply.
It's not even
it's not
it's
like,
not even a hard process. Honestly,
yeah.
it's not. I looked into it when I was like 18 or 19, and yeah, it's not a hard
I can
prod.
send you guys a link to it.
But can you tell us who's coming up? PA
So
can.
anyway, that's what I
I
wanted to say.
not looking at the
But
list
I
right
got
now.
dumped. It was like, shh,
Right.
no, don't
Yeah.
tell them.
Oh, they can know if they want to really know. It's not a big deal. Next week we have Midnight Researcher. The week after that we have Raymond Beeman, which is an amazing author and has done a lot of work with As the Raven Dreams. And then we have Just Plain Creepy coming up.
Yes.
All of them are awesome
It'd be
people.
fun.
And,
We also have some awesome people coming up on Grave Matters on Sundays. But I don't remember who. I just know we have some awesome people. I know, isn't that horrible? My memory is just shot to hell, and it makes me feel bad.
yeah, we
But I know we've got some good people coming.
the Honeys have somebody coming up soon, but I don't even know who he is. Mainly because Bansheba's worked this, and she's the one that's making all the contact and everything. So yeah, we did Worst Way to Die today. There's a lot of bad ways to die out there, man. Just saying. Hi, amateur animator.
I don't know.
Thank you for popping in, even if you're losing internet.
Amateur. Thank you for being here, dude.
Talk fast.
Hey, animator.
Grave Matters is
And I'm losing it.
no. There's Artzilla. Grave Matters is another show similar to this with CCG and Filia Noctis. On Sunday on the same channel.
At 7 p.m. Eastern.
Is it 7 p.m. Eastern? I thought it was in the afternoon.
No, 7 p.m. Pacific. I don't know.
It's not Pacific. I thought it was like 2 Central.
Yes, it
but
is.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No. It's Pacific. Because we do it on Arizona time.
All right.
But that's
well,
Mountain Standard.
Let's keep the interview going, guys.
Not in the summer, we're on Pacific time.
But that's a thought. I was looking at your thumbnails, and I noticed that you do live streams as well. Do you enjoy the live streams better than the video format, or do you prefer doing a video versus live streams?
The video versus live streams.
Okay.
So, when you record, what is your editing process? Because when I edit, whenever I mess up, I just cut it out immediately and redo that line. Do you do that, or do you just do it all in one shot and then just take out your mess ups as you go, like after you're done?
I take out my mess ups as I go because I figure it's too long. It takes too long, and then I just get mad at myself, and it just too much of a process.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the way I do it too.
So I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen you. Do you do premieres at all?
No, not
No.
necessarily. No, I just throw them out there. So
Do you not like the premieres, or do you?
I don't know. Just haven't thought about doing one yet. I'll probably do one sometime, but
Yeah. See, I can't live stream from my internet because it's so trash. So I
Right.
like the premiere option because it gives me a chance to like interact with the people watching my videos.
uh-huh.
So it's like it's my replacement for live streams, pretty much.
Right. It's
When's
an
your next-
alternative software.
Yeah, it's what I got to work with. So when is your next video coming out, dude?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm still. I've sent a couple other stories out to a couple other people, like Magnetar. I sent one out to him, and then Magnetar YT. I sent one out to him, and then Oz, him. I sent one out to him. The Australian narrator.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm waiting for them to do my stories, I guess, and then maybe I'll do one myself. I still haven't written anything in a while. I'm still working on a story myself. So
Well, that brings up another question. When you send a story out to another narrator and they do it, do you ever plan on doing that one on your channel? And if so, how long do you wait until after they've done the story?
I don't know. I feel like, why me do it when they do it? I'd rather have them do the story than me do it, because I'm almost like, okay, I don't think I'll do the story very well, so that's why I'm sending it off to you, or maybe I don't feel like doing that story, or
Yeah, I do the stories, and one of the reasons why I like reading I like reading my own stuff is because you know the tone of the story, you know the tone you want your characters to be. So I find it easier to narrate my own stories than I do narrate somebody else's stories.
Right, I feel you.
And I'm kind of the opposite, is that's why I kind of don't send my stories out to people, because I don't want to judge them by what's in my head.
And plus, I also like getting other people's reaction and seeing what they thought of the story and whatnot as well. I like getting feedback and seeing how I did, I guess.
That one story I did of yours, I really enjoyed it.
Good, I'm glad.
The ending was not what I expected, and it's always nice whenever an ending kind of catches me off guard, because I'm just like, man, everything's so predictable anymore. And then I read your ending, and I'm like, I like that ending of that.
Yeah.
It's always good when an ending can surprise you.
Anybody who hasn't seen it in the chat, it's called Devil's Dandruff Caves, and was a great story to read. I will throw it in the chat in case anybody wants to check it out later.
So, DHT, what is your go-to movie munchies?
M&M's, peanut butter M&M's, and
Oh.
Dr. Pepper.
Nice.
Dr. Pepper is the staff of life.
Yes.
But peanut butter M&Ms, we haven't had specific peanut butter M&Ms before. We've had M&Ms, but not specifically peanut butter.
Yes.
Like that. Very good. Very good. Okay.
Butter, but it always gives me indigestion when I eat it. Doesn't stop me from eating it though.
Yeah. Now I got a question. Do y'all know about
Right.
that VR con or whatever that people talk about?
Yes.
Yes.
Like, explain a little bit more about that because I'm curious about that. I guess.
Okay. HorrorCon VR was last October. They are working on one for this year, so it will be in October this year. I don't know when the booth lineups come out, although I am looking forward to seeing that because I'm kind of hoping to get one this year. But basically, because we couldn't have traditional cons because of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds so wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah.
True.
Because of 2020.
We couldn't have a traditional convention, so we came up with the best we could.
So they decided that they were going to try to take it to virtual reality, and all you have to have is the VR chat, which does not require you to have a headset or anything like that. You just have to have a computer. And you can go in, you can choose an
Apparently it's more
avatar.
fun with the headset.
Well,
Uh-huh.
of course, it's going to be more fun with the headset because you're going to be able to get into VR.
So when you go
You know?
into the VR without a headset, it's almost like you're in. You go in, you pick your avatar, and then it's almost like you're playing. The way it reminded me of, it reminds me of a game like playing Sims, because that's what kind of what the character design is, and then you can just go and interact with people.
Okay.
And
Okay. Sort of like
you
Coke, I
had-
guess. Ever play that one? Coke.
What?
Back in the day.
What was it?
Oh no, it was
no.
It was
You have people. You have like artists, and you have narrators. You have writers. There were a couple of media outlet, quote unquote, groups that do like short reel films. That had a it was basically, even sci-fi makeup guys were showed up this past year. So it's looking like, that's the type of thing that we're looking at for this year as well. There'll be some that have returned, some that are going to be added. I didn't get to go, but I heard a lot of stuff about it, and I'm in their Discord, so I keep track on that.
like, was
every
there
once
like
in a
a location where it actually would be held, if it could be held per se?
I don't know. Basically, because the way that they're doing it,
I don't know.
it's available all around the world, and that makes it very difficult to get all those people in one physical location.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
All right, guys, we got about 9 minutes
And-
before we got to wrap it up. So,
All right, well, let's find out what he wants to eat before we electrocute him. So, Dark Horse, you were a very bad boy, and you ended up in our prison, and we're going to have to electrocute you. What would you like us to serve you for your last meal?
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Yeah,
Chipotle.
that's what I got.
Just
Chipotle.
all of it, everything on the menu.
Everything.
walk into
All
a
the
Chipotle
Chipotle?
store.
Everything.
I want everything on that bitch.
One of everything.
So since we only got 9 minutes left, Dark Horse, you got anything else you like to say? Add any questions you want to ask?
Would you come back?
I would come back. Yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
Then you can ask us anything you want.
Let's see here. I guess what's y'all's thoughts on the collabs and like the I guess would y'all rather do a collab, or would y'all rather do like a writer collab if they wanted to do a story. I guess if they needed help doing a story.
I have had some bad experiences with writer collabs, which is one of the reasons why I'm a little worried about doing something like that. I don't have a problem with doing narration collabs. Um, I don't do a lot of them right now, partly because I'm not doing much of anything right now because my body has been being a pain in my butt. Um, but uh, it's one of the things that you said earlier. A lot of the collabs that I have been involved with, it's like bring your own writing,
Uh-huh.
and I if I have to write a story in 2 weeks and record it to get to them, it may not happen because it may take me longer than 2 weeks to write the story.
Right.
And there's been a couple of people, like I did a collab with Raven for his Glitch in the Matrix, and he sent me the stories. A couple of other people have like sent me lines to do, and I like doing those a lot better because I don't have to come up with it off the top of my head. But again, if I have the time to come up with a story for a collab, I've got to have time to do it. It's hard
Right.
to come up with one off the top of my head when I've got 2 weeks to write a story and record it and clean it up and get it to you. Yeah, if I don't have something sitting here that I haven't recorded or I haven't done in a while, and I try not to send things that I have already put on my channel to a collab. It
Uh-huh.
may be going on my channel later, but it hasn't gone there yet to a collab. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. For me, it's I don't have. I'm not opposed to writing with somebody else. I'm more of a solo writer myself. I feel too many, cooks in the kitchen on a story could actually hurt it more than help it. But I would be open to it if somebody needed help or some suggestions. But I do love doing collabs, like voice. Like if you want me to do lines for you, send them over. I'll have them to you same day, because I've gotten a reputation for that, and I love working with my friends. So collabs are fun. How about you, Philia?
I like doing lines for other people. I love doing that. Doing actual like stories for other people, I'm like Mia in the sense that I need a lot of time. But that's because of my illnesses, because I never know when I'm going to be able to. I can't say, yeah, I can have this to you by next Tuesday. I may not be able to. It just depends on is my body gonna let me work this week. But if I have plenty of time, yeah, I like doing collabs too. But if you've got a story for me, or if you've got lines for me, oh yeah, I love doing that.
It's like what happened this week. I did lines for Sabian this week, and he's like, I need this by. He actually put out, I need this by Saturday the 26th. Well, the 26th isn't Saturday, and I pointed that out to him. But he also sent me the next set of lines that go with this, and it needs to be to him by the 4th. Well, if everything goes right, I'll record those tomorrow and have them to him by tomorrow night. If my body decides to be a pain in my ass, I'm sorry, but I'm not recording on the 1st because that's my anniversary. But I will probably try to record on Monday and do it then. But yeah, and that's another thing that the horror community seems to have a lot of, is people with physical ailments that
Mm-hmm.
keep us from doing everything we want to do. And I hate
mean,
that.
I mean,
For
the
the most
reason,
part, everybody else understands.
Yeah.
yeah, and the reason
Everybody's
I've gotten
really good about that.
and the reason I've gotten the reputation from getting shit back same day is because I have a very limited amount of time I can record. We're doing a full-time job of running a full-time YouTube channel. So if you want me to do a collab and you get me your lines, chances are you're getting them the same day because that's about the only time I'm going to have to do them.
Yeah, I try to get them done the same day, but it doesn't always work when my body says, you can't sit in that chair right now.
I'm going to say let's wrap it up because I just got a notification from 42 that she's having net problems. So chances are
Ooh.
the stream might just
Yep, I
crash.
just heard
So we
the
probably should
same
end it
thing.
while we're still good.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay.
I want to thank you for coming as always. Thank you so much,
Well,
Dark
thank
Horse.
you for being here.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
And
This is-
we
sorry,
need to have
go
you
ahead.
back.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I've had a lot of fun talking to you, man. It was
Yeah. Thank you.
a good time. Thank you everybody in the chat who came: Aisha, Amateur, Anime, Queef, Silver, 42 obviously for being here.
Oops, I hit the wrong button.
Chris,
Gamma, Chris,
Gamma, Chris.
CC. Thank you all, guys. Thank you guys
Yeah.
for always coming and being here. We love you all. And as always, just
And Queef, like I said, your best bet is going to be to check with Cece on who's going to be on Grave Matters because I know she's got the list because she put it together.
and always, guys. Once you join the collective, you will leave nevermore.
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 Taking over your body, it's flowing through your mind. This feeling's got me on fire. Don't ever leave it all behind. Can you feel the attraction?